hot yoga problems. Ow, I got them. I got them today. Oh my gosh. Yogi friends across the land, my tens of listeners worldwide. Serious problems today, man. Serious problems from that hot yoga session that just eclipsed. The first thing that's fresh on my mind, and by the way, this is a problem, I would say over 50% of the time, maybe 80% of the time. I don't keep track. I'm just telling you it's there. It happens not every single time, but almost every time. When you're trying to leave, and by the way, I just want to leave. I'm in a state of sweat and distress and regret and pain and agony. Post-yoga pain. Come on. I just want to get my stuff out of my little locker, put on my shoes, throw on my sweatshirt, get that F out of there. I'm not looking to hang out. I don't need to chit-chat and shoot the breeze. But because I believe in chivalry, ladies first, and by the way, yoga is mostly ladies. It's probably like 80% female. And that's what I'm talking about is the class ratio. And that's fine, whatever. But I always let the women do what they need to do first. I'm not gonna be that guy who's like a bull in a china shop breaking things, you know? Go ahead, go to the locker, get your things together, gather up your materials. That's cool, great, I'm happy for you. Then I'll go. But man, how frequently, including tonight, people have no respect for their fellow yogis. They just sit there and they put on their clothes, they put perfume on, they do their makeup. I'm like, what is going on? This woman was on her phone, like in a colloquy with this text chat, an intense text chat, just standing there in front of the lockers. And the lockers of my studio are such that there's like a bank, man. It's like a whole wall of lockers. That sounds cool in theory. Little cubbies. And I do like to have the lock and key, man. I gotta have a lock and key to secure my products. I gotta preserve and protect and defend my property, my wallet, my cell phones. So I dig it. But when there's like the little cubbies, they're not full-size lockers like high school. They're like little cubbies. That's fine. It's all you need. And they're typically all occupied. Someone's got something in them at all times. And I guess there's just no urgency of the average yoga class participant to get out of there. They're just hanging out in front of the locker bank. And if you're doing that, you're blocking at least 3 lockers, top, middle, low. But more likely 9 lockers, top, middle, lower, for a giant square. Because I'm a guy, I'm not gonna go in there and like, boom, I'm not gonna give you a forearm shiver and block you out and get my stuff. I'm not that way, I'm chill. I guess the counter would be Raff. All you gotta do is say, excuse me, can I get to my locker? But I just think we're in a world where me, a clumsy oafish dude, who's all ball of sweat and distress, and probably still out of breath, to be quite honest, I'm panting for like 10 minutes after class. It's bad, dude, it's bad. So me being like, excuse me, can't get to my locker. Like Quasimodo. Okay, I gotta get to my locker. That's not gonna go over well. They probably report me. I'd get bounced out of the studio. I'm aggressive, I'm scary, I'm intimidating. The studio is a safe space, man. Don't be that way. So I'm just saying, all my yogi friends out there, I know you're out there. I know there's some of you out there that do hot yoga religiously. And I appreciate that. Please take heed and just get your stuff out of the cubby. And then what I do is I grab it and then I remove it from the cubby and I take a step back into the hallway or into a kind of remote area of the space so that other people can get into their cubbies. Wow, imagine that. Spatial awareness is a thing. Wow. So yeah, man, that's the hot yoga problem. It's not unique to tonight. It just was on my mind because it was so bad tonight. There was just a person standing there. I don't know what. Now, here's the thing. I should just have empathy. It's cool. I don't care. I'm not in a hurry. Life is good. Chill. Chill, man. Chill. Okay. Everything's going to be okay. Nothing to worry about. Who knows what that colloquy is? She's on her phone. She's, you know, in some type of argument. Is it a lover's quarrel? Or is it something worse? Is she getting like really desperate news about a loved one? I don't know. So just flip it back on yourself, man. Don't be a jerk. Who cares? You're not in a hurry. I know. It's just a small thing. It's a small thing. It's a small thing. And I guess I just want the world to function in a way that respects the boundaries and, you know, of others. And like, I'm very respectful of others, man. I'm very, very respectful. I try my best not to impose costs and burdens on third parties. I avoid externalities at all costs. I don't want that in my life. I don't want it's my job to not impose costs upon strangers. It's just, that's how I view it. I want the world to function that way. I feel like we've lost touch with that. We've become less aware. And now the counter would be, well, Rafferty, why don't you educate? It's my mission in life to like be polite about it, but I could assert myself. I could be a little more, you know, I don't want to say aggressive, but I could get my thoughts out a little more. Instead, I just smile and nod and wait patiently. But that's the thing. I'm not going to be an aggressor. I'm not going to be that dude. Because at the end of the day, these hot yoga problems are definitely first world problems, my friends. In case you haven't picked up that theme over the 50 or however many shows I've done so far, let's be honest. What do I complain about here? Bad breath, music I don't recognize, people taking up too much space in the lockers. I'm not like, you know, this is not life and death. So just chill out. Chill out, dude. Be happy. Stop complaining. Stop being a jerk. Respect that everyone else is going to be less aware of the cost they're imposing on society, and that's okay. Maybe your standards are irrational. Maybe you're the one who has to adjust. Lower the bar. Become more normal. Maybe it's on you. That's what I'm going to say. That's the takeaway from today's lesson. Just when we think we're going to point fingers at everybody else, they're the problem, they're the reason. Well, you know what? Ultimately, it comes back to you. I control how I react to any situation. Don't expect so much from other people. In fact, I should expect to be delayed on the way. I should bank that into my plans, that I'm not going to get access to my locker for 5 to 10 minutes after class because there's going to be people hanging out, shooting the breeze, popping popcorn, like flipping pancakes. I don't know what's going on. There's a huge opportunity there for people to aggregate and just do their own thing while I'm standing there like a tool. That's okay. Just bank on it, plan on it, adjust your framework accordingly, and don't let it bother you. That's the lesson. I'm responsible for interpreting these grievances, these breaches of decorum, decency. Oh, I didn't even get to talk about the problems, and I'm pulling into my driveway here. That's not really the problem I wanted to talk about. I guess I'll have to save that for tomorrow. The good news is I might be able to hit that 20 yoga sessions in 30 days. It's going to be very hard. I'm on session like 7 or 8, maybe 9. I got to track. But we are past halfway marker this month. I got to find out what the deadline is, and then I got to figure out what my count is, and I got to plan accordingly. I'm going to be out for a few days in West Virginia. They don't have a hot yoga studio there. They certainly don't have a core power studio, so I don't know what I'm going to do. But I'm going to figure it out. We're going to keep moving forward. I think I can knock out 20 and 30. Stay tuned. Until then, namaste, mofos.